What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at some games running on a secret console that we shall not name, running on a Retroid Pocket 5. So let's get started. Now before we begin, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, it really helps me grow. I keep on bringing all this content for you guys. Here's the first game on the list. This is Cloudpunk. You basically play in a cyberpunk world. You're a delivery driver. You go in this little space shuttle type of thing. It's pretty cool. I previously played this on my PS4 and my PS5. So down below you're going to see my configurations to get this game running and the driver that you need to get this working. As you can see, the game and the shaders seem to be running well. The game seems to be running at a steady 30 plus frames per second. There are some areas that are more demanding than others. So right here, we're going at 60. But as we get closer to certain parts of the city, you can see that the FPS is dropping to like 40. In this game, you're actually able to get out of your spaceship. So let's find a spot and see how that performs once you're out of the spaceship. Outside of the spaceship, we can see that it's performing at about 40 frames per second with a little drop downs. It seems pretty good so far. I believe you can change the perspective of this game. Yeah, so you can switch. This was the original perspective of the game, and then eventually the developer switched it to third person because this was a feature requested by the players. But this game seems to be performing well. The second game on the list is Astral Chain. This game actually is running pretty good on the system. I've been playing this for a few hours. I'm using the stock driver on this game, and honestly this game is running so good. I think that the intro is one of the coolest intros I've seen in a video game in a while. And again, the configurations for this game are right here down below. You should see a pop-up on the video of what I have set up for this game to run. Like I mentioned, this game I've been playing for a few hours now. There are a few graphical issues here and there, especially in the cutscenes. Sometimes you may see like a slight flickering, especially when you talk to certain individuals. Like down here, I believe I'm gonna talk to someone, and you will see what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, that little film that shows up right there. It happens in most of the cutscenes, but it's not something that is a game breaking. You're still able to follow through the story and whatnot. It runs pretty well for the most part. You will eventually see though that there's some graphical glitches. There's some drops in the FPS. Like here when we summon our Legion, you can see the FPS dropped. We're running at 17 right here. Still not a major deal breaker, especially because this area is like really big. This is one of the biggest parts of the map so far. It is not open world, it is semi-open world, but it doesn't interrupt the gameplay. As you can see, now that we're moving out of that area, the FPS increased. On to the next game. The next game on the list is a horror game called Dreadout. And again, the configurations will be displayed on the screen. This game has remained stable for the most part, anywhere between 20 plus frames per second to 30, depending on the area. Like right here, you can see the game's running a steady frames per second. It just dropped a little bit, back to 30. But for the most part, it's not bad. I have no idea what to do in this game. I just started for this video. Just tried to get it running. I had this on my PS5, so to be able to play it here without having to connect in remote play is actually pretty great. I am not sure what the story of this game is. I have no idea why this girl is barefoot. But so far the game runs well. I have not gotten too far into this game, so it's possible there may be performance issues later down the line. The only way to know is by playing the game, but I can't be playing all these games for hours just to test them out. But at the very least, we're able to run them from the beginning, so we can see whether the game will run on or Retroid Pocket 5 or not. On to the next game. The next game on the list is Fatal Frame Maiden of the Blackwater, I think. This game seems to be running pretty good. Depending on the emulator that you're running, you may have some crackling issues or not. That can be solved by pressing the audio settings and changing it to QBEP. This game seems to be pretty stable for the most part. I haven't encountered any graphical issues with the game so far, but then again, I just started it. Right here, I don't know if there's supposed to be audio playing on this or not. I didn't hear the character footsteps or anything like that, so I don't know if this is happening because of a glitch or a problem with the driver. I don't hear the character footsteps again, but the cutscene seems to be playing well. The flora there is looking super dark. I don't know if that's a graphical issue. This part there seems to be no audio. And then it's playing the audio back again. I did first try this part earlier in the day, and I recall there was audio on this, so I am not sure why it's playing it this way. Again, no audio on the game. This is fairly common with some games. I will be showcasing another game that also has audio issues. But we can see that this game runs at a pretty steady FPS, and hopefully it will be like that for the rest of the game. I'll eventually take a look into this game again and play a few hours on it, and I can update whether this game has these issues or not. On to the next game. The next game on the list is Ghost Runner. So this game runs well on the system, but there is a problem with the audio. Again, my configurations are down here below. I don't know if you can hear that crackling, but the audio does not play well at all. I think for this game it's better to just play with no audio, but then again, what's the fun in playing a game that you can't hear? But it is here if you want to give it a try. See, the performance seems pretty decent. Also the movements and everything is pretty fluid. Little graphical glitch right there, but as you can see, the audio is really crackling on here. That is pretty bad. The audio definitely gets annoying as you're playing this. It's a shame because this game actually runs pretty good on the system, but sadly it seems that the emulator is not taking this well. I tried this game on other emulators and again the audio issue is still the same. But at the very least it's playable, and if you don't mind playing the game this way, then by all means. On to the next game. The next game on the list is The Observer. This game was created by the Bluebird team, the creators of the Silent Hill 2 remake. They made this cyberpunk horror game. It's actually pretty cool. I played this back on my PS4 for a few years back. Definitely the textures are not as great because obviously this is the console that we shall not name version, so obviously things needed to be downplayed. The game seems to be a little buggy right here, but it's actually running at a pretty decent FPS. This game is really demanding. This is one of the few games that actually turn on the fan on my Retroid Pocket 5, depending on how long you play this game. Honestly, I feel that this game will definitely drain your battery on your Retroid Pocket 5 really fast. The game is definitely playable, but you can see how the FPS is jumping up and down. Some areas were at 35-40 frames per second, but then we're going down to like 18. Right here, that was a big drop from 40 to 22. Just depends on where you're looking at. But it seems that the game is honestly playable. It's not like a crazy game where there's a lot going on. You kind of have to go back and forth, different areas, different things, talk to neighbors and whatnot. The game is really, truly beautiful. The environment is really nice. I really recommend this game if you like cyberpunk and you also like horror games. All right, on to the next game. The next game on the list is none other than Red Dead Redemption. This game is definitely really demanding. The FPS is not so great. As you can see, it's running at 13 frames per second, 14 frames per second. You definitely have to lower the resolution of the game, and even then it still doesn't seem that it's working that great. There are some areas where the game gets a little bit better. The cutscene seems to be playing pretty well, but outside of the cutscenes, it is really demanding. Let's skip this. Right here we get a pretty decent FPS, but you see some graphical glitches like the horses are appearing and disappearing. Pretty bad frame rate drops. Right here we're now going at 11, 12. Right here the FPS definitely got better. We can still see graphical glitches like that guy appearing, disappearing on his horse. I guess it's just a matter of the area, but you won't know. I mean, this game is open world, so it's really demanding overall. Right there, that guy was running with his horse invisible, another guy's invisible. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of other graphical glitches on this game, but this is the very beginning, so we won't know until you keep on playing this game. But this is something that I don't know if I want to do. I don't know if I want to play a game with this many issues, but it's definitely cool that this can run on here. Games like this that are really demanding on the system, sometimes it's better not to play them on here, especially because if you're in the middle of a mission or something and the game crashes and there's no save points, you're going to lose all your progress and there's no guarantee that you will be able to get past that point. However, feel free to give it a try. If you know other configurations how to make this game better, please let me know. My configurations, again, they're down here. On to the next and last game of today's video. The last game on release is called Ruiner. If you guys have not heard about this game, think of it like a cyberpunk style Hotline Miami type of game. I played this back on my PS5, but there's only like a PS4 version, but it's really cool that you're able to play it here. This game has like a really cool graphical glitches, and no, that is not because of the driver, that is actually intended. There's definitely some frame rate drops, but it remains steady for the most part. This game is really fun if you like to play these type of games, like top-down view shooters. I currently don't have a gun in this game, but you will eventually get some. Oh, here we're getting a weapon like I was mentioning. Give it a try. Again, my configurations are down here as usual. I have one more extra game on this list. I know I said last game was going to be the last one of the list. It's called Since Midnight. It has like a PS1 style type of game. The graphics are obviously modern graphics, but the game kind of has like that old retro vibe. I had this on my PS5. I got this version for the Switch, and it's kind of nice seeing that it runs on here. You're basically streaming from like a cemetery or some haunted park, something like that, and your fans are like here chatting with you, and you see all these messages. That's how you know what's happening in the story. I haven't fully kept up with the story of this, but at the very least it's playable. I haven't finished it on my PS5, so kind of cool that I may be able to actually finish it on here. Now for real, this is the last game on our list. Oh look, the view just switched. That's kind of cool. I do like the cyberpunk vibe of this game. But anyways, that is all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.